This is an educational presentation on the diagnosis of failure to thrive as completed by students at St. Francis University. Sensory processing disorder. When an individual experiences sensory processing, they encounter stimuli from the environment and they take it in through their sensory systems for interpretation and then decide how to respond. The sensory systems include tactile, olfactory, gustatory, auditory, visual, vestibular, and proprioception. Dysfunction in sensory processing occurs when an individual misinterprets the information from their environment or has an inappropriate response to this information. For example, somebody can be hypersensitive or hyposensitive as being overstimulated or understimulated by the sensory information. In relation to failure to thrive, these individuals have the sensory integration dysfunction of tactile or oral sensitivity. This results in malnutrition, hypersensitivity to certain textures of food, overall being avoidant of eating experiences, as well as deficiencies in weight and height that is typical for the age of the child. These individuals may also demonstrate lack of oral motor skills as well as lack of feeding and eating skills.
So, failure to thrive is a diagnosis given to young children and infants who fail to grow or gain weight. There are two different types. The organic type is arising from a diagnosable physical cause, and the non-organic type is impaired growth without an apparent physical cause, often associated with psychosocial factors. So, some functional problems include eating, swallowing, and feeding deficits, immunodeficiencies, weakness and fatigue, developmental delay, malnutrition, possible social skill difficulties, and low self-esteem. Some possible interventions include feeding and eating skills, sensory stimulation of the oral structures, facilitating developmental and oral motor skills, developmentally appropriate play experiences, promoting positive parent and child interaction, educating the parents, involving the child in meal prep for desensitization. Do not force feed the child, and you should regularly schedule meals and introduce new flavors and textures.
So some of the precautions associated with failure to thrive is choking hazards due to their avoidance of eating experiences and their tactile sensitivity, as well as watching for signs of sensory overload or shutdown, which will present as extreme distress during the sensory experience, and also issues that are secondary to malnutrition, such as weakness and fatigue. People should also be aware of working with the family and contextual factors that might play into the child's failure to thrive.
And this is just some websites that could give you more information on failure to thrive.